back at LaxCon with Taylor Cummings, and like many of the people, wears lots of hats. You got WPLL player, former Tewaaraton winner, Team USA member. Taylor, what's your favorite part of LaxCon?
I love just seeing all the fans. You know, you get people from so many different places coming into one building, and I think having the sport of lacrosse under one roof with so many people who love it is probably the brightest spot of LaxCon.
So I know you've hit on this on social media, but I think it's interesting. With Team USA, you guys had gone through a bunch of months where you had consistent events. Now you got a bit of a lapse, and the WPLL season's not coming up till the summer. So, like, how do you stay sharp, and what has it been like this last couple of months, not knowing when that next event is?
Weird. I think this is the longest break I've had in 8 years, 9, like something crazy like that. We have 6 months with no games, which I think, you know, as I've gotten older, my body's like, woo, like that's great. So I think, you know, for the next couple months, probably until March, it's going to be just kind of maintaining, nothing crazy as far as fitness goes, and keeping a stick in my hand. And then once April hits, you know, we're 2 or 3 months out from a U.S. training weekend, from WPLL starting over, and that's when we'll kind of kick it into gear. But it has been nice to kind of have a break and feel like you can mend some injuries and take care of yourself without, you know, the pressure of being in shape.
How much do you keep a stick in your hands?
Right now, I'm, you know, 2-3 times a week hitting wall ball, going out to shoot. I've been traveling a lot for the holidays, and so it's been a little crazy weather-wise too. But now that high school season's starting, and I'll have a stick in my hand pretty much every day once that starts.
What's it been like now as you've had a chance to kind of settle into that head coaching gig at McDonough?
It was definitely a really fun experience my first year. Learned a lot, failed a lot. Like, there was a ton that happened on field, off field. Finding myself not in the player role but in the coaching role is always it was a challenge for me. You know, wanting to have the ball on my stick and do things myself, and then being restricted by the sideline was definitely a tough adjustment for me. But I'm so fortunate to coach some of the best kids and have a staff on my sideline and administration-wise that just really supports the program. So it's been a lot of fun. I see things a little differently now, and I'm looking forward to year 2.
Well, that's my follow-up. I think, how have you learned from now being especially a head coach to when you go back to Team USA or the WPLL? How has that changed your game and what you do?
You know, I think you just look at things from a different perspective. You know, playing, you're in it and you see it just on the field. You're in the bird's eye view, and then to coach it, you're from the sidelines, and you have to think a little bit more. So I think it's helped my lacrosse IQ, and then going back and watching film again, I realized, oh, that was a good move. Oh, that was a really bad call on my part. So it's helped me on field be able to kind of make decisions, and then off field, you know, not put so much pressure. Like, you realize when you're, especially with high school kids, you're gonna make mistakes, and I'm gonna make mistakes as a coach, and I think it kind of brings you back a little bit to not so much pressure. With
the way the WPLL season ended, how hungry are you to get back this summer?
Super excited. You know, we had a great summer and we couldn't finish it, and the Brave was unbelievable. I mean, they're so talented, played really well, earned the win. But you know, none of us like losing. You get a lot of really competitive people who you know, want to win, and we don't. That always fuels your hunger. So I think we still talked about it at our last US weekend, me and Katrina Dowd, and you know, I think we are hungry and ready, and I think that fuels a lot of our training.
With Team USA, with the run you've been on with this women's team, I feel like there's a good core group, and they've been trying out a bunch of other players, but I feel like you guys have a good core group. How have you seen that team now develop as you go from the last World Cup and now you look ahead to the next one in Towson? Well, now I'm a veteran, or considered a veteran, which is a little weird. But you know, having the ability to be, you know, out of college, watch especially these current college kids crush it during the season, and then have the ability to come play with them in June and throughout this year has just been really exciting. I think this next kind of wave is so talented, and they're great kids. They're great players, teammates, friends, kids, and I think they bring just a fresh perspective, and we are a little
little more seasoned as the veterans. So everyone's coming together. Everyone accepts that we're all in kind of different places in life and different places in our career, but that's actually really meshing and mending well together. You know, at the end of the day, we're a group of girls who love to play, and we want to win and do whatever makes the team better. And so that's been really fun to kind of have. We've had like 50, 67, I don't even know how many people have come through.
Yeah.
And each weekend, you know, you feel like you're closer to the kids who've come in fresh or the ones who've been returning.
Speaking of winning, you did a lot of it when you were at Maryland. The Terps, not a down year, but I feel like it's a transition year as they come in with some new young talent. What do you expect out of the Terps this year?
They lost a really strong class.
Yeah.
You know, it hurts when you lose 6 or 7, and then you've had some injuries in the off season to your remaining players. But if there's one thing I've learned in the past like 10 years with this team is you just don't doubt them. Even when I was in high school, you know, they won national championships that they weren't supposed to win. And when I was on the team, you know, our best years were the years that people thought we were going to be awful. So they have a really strong freshman class. We got to play against them in Fall Classic.
Yeah.
They're young, and while that might also mean they're inexperienced, I think they're just ready to go and they just play. So we'll see. You know, Carolina and Syracuse, I think, have the top 2 teams right now.
Probably pains you to say that.
But they're also my teammates
That's
now.
true.
So like Emily Harris-Chuck on Cuse is unreal. You know, you have some UNC returns, Jamie Ortega, Katie Hogue. So I think it's going to be a really good battle. I hope the Terps win. I always hope the Terps win. But we'll see how it goes for them.
So I know you're busy with camps and clinics. Tell people where they can find out more information and where you're going to be.
Everything's on TaylorCummingsLacrosse.com. We actually are holding a clinic right after LaxCon today.
Awesome.
Marie and I. So really looking forward to the spring and summer.
Appreciate it, Taylor. Good luck with everything you got going on.
Thank you. You too.